Hey, welcome to your Aquarius horoscopes for the week of Thanksgiving. If you are in the United States, that's pretty much what we're all doing this week. Having Thanksgiving, dealing with Thanksgiving, cooking Thanksgiving dinner, shopping. Oh my gosh, my head is spinning. My Aquarian head is spinning just thinking about all of it. Not in the US. That's okay. It's the week of whatever you decide to make it the week of this week. Okay, you guys are lucky. You guys get to pick and choose. Over here in the United States, we're stuck with it's a holiday and all the wonderful and difficult things that brings up for us. It is the week of the 19th through the 25th of October. We have no planets technically in Aquarius. We still have those influences on the cusps of each side. So we're still in the middle of the Pluto slash Saturn bookends there. And really, a lot of what we're dealing with is coming from them. But focus is on self for Sagittarius. We're not talking about Sagittarius, we're talking about Aquarius, and focus is all on us. It's all about us, of course, as it should be. I mean, Virgos really do think that it's all about them and they're all that in a bag of chips. But you know what? We know who the coolest sign is. Yes, we do. We have, let's start here with Saturn's influence. Saturn is 0 degrees Pisces still, which means it's right there on the cusp, almost like one leg on each side of the, so it's actually closer to the cusp than Pluto is, although Pluto is close enough to have an influence. But Saturn, we're talking about responsibility here, and we're talking about responsibility to ourselves, which is really important. One of the big things in the world right now, and has been for a long time, is a lot of times people put others before themselves because we've been taught that it's selfish to do otherwise. Aquarians, on the other hand, I have a sneaking suspicion, at least I feel personally, that we're a little bit smarter than that we're just one step ahead of everybody else when it comes to that. And it really is a reminder of self-care being a responsibility to yourself. This is actually a really good reminder for me, thinking of all the list and huge list of things. To me, that the holidays are an inconvenience in an already really hectic schedule. So it's like this week is even more crazy in my head in terms of what needs to be done. And it's really not that crazy, but in my head, I'm like, oh my God, there's no way am I going to be able to get it all done. And all that. Self-care is really important. Taking the time to plan ahead is really important. Taking the time to rest and meditate is really important. Taking even 5 minutes several times a day is really important. For me, the only way that I can energetically get through a really crazy schedule is by consistently forcing myself to take mental health breaks. And this is really important, you guys. This is a break where your head is not thinking of anything. You're not planning your next moves. You're not thinking about next week. You're not still stuck on what happened last week. You have to quiet that brain. And I know how hard that is. I'm an Aquarius, but I am also an Aquarius that learned how to do that. And it is amazing. Let me tell you how amazing it is to hear silence in here. Okay. It is awesome. And how did I do that, you ask? Easier. It's very easy, although it takes practice. And the hard part is remembering that you have control over that. When your brain starts to go crazy and you're thinking of all of the things, I close my eyes, I envision a trunk, and I take all the thoughts and I throw them in the trunk and I slam the door down. And what I'm actually doing is I'm putting them away for later because I don't want to get rid of them. I just don't want to focus on them right this minute, and give myself that 5-10 minutes to just have silence, just be in that moment. It is so refreshing. Most of us don't realize that even if we're sitting there doing nothing, if the brain is going, you are not resting. And if you're not resting, you're never actually replenishing your energy. So I do a ground and bubble when I do that. I put all these things in place so that I am completely grounded. I am released my old energy. I'm rejuvenating my energy. I'm shutting down the brain here, and I'm able to focus when I come back. If you go and you sit down for a minute and you take a break and your brain is full of all the things that you got to do next, you are not taking a break. Self-care is always important. And for highly intellectual people, it is absolutely necessary. Without it, you will have a nervous breakdown. I have been way too close to a nervous breakdown way too many times this year because I keep forgetting that I can do this, that I need to do this, that I should be doing this. It's my responsibility to myself to do this. So I'm going to say for this week, the most important thing is you and taking care of you. And if you do that, everything else is gravy. Get it? Gravy. Little Thanksgiving joke there for you. One last thing. Saturn's square with the sun and Mars. This is an energy that is really fiery. It's an intense energy. And when your need for self-care is not in line with somebody else's plans, that can be very difficult. Trust me on this, okay? Been there, done that, can write like a whole series of freaking books on it, okay? Maybe I should, actually. Point is, you don't have to get upset. Just rearrange your plans. I know flexibility is not an easy thing for fixed signs, and it's really not easy for Aquarians either. It's why it's such an important lesson to learn. So be flexible. You're off to take a break. Somebody else needs you. Okay, that's fine. Get that done. And then go off and take your break. Or establish, let's do that in 5 minutes. I need to do something really quick that's very important. And if nobody else thinks it's important, that's not your problem. It's theirs. They have to deal with it, not you. So that's what I have for you guys this week. If you love your horoscopes, do consider sending a tip or donation to my coffee link, which is there in the description of the video. I'm Melissa Bruce, Heavy Metal Sidekick. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you guys so much. I will see you guys next week. In the meantime, you guys, kick some ass. Make it a great week. Do a great job. Whatever it is that you do, always do it with that Aquarian flair that we all have, that makes us stand out above everybody else. Because, we just got to do that, right? Or don't. If you don't want to, you can totally do that too. I'll see you guys next week. Make it a great week.